Hey there, Regina Anley here, and it is time for the AI Spotlight. And today, this week, we're talking about thought leadership. And when it comes to I want to throw in something that a lot of people don't actually think about, and that's using AI to be the devil's advocate when you are doing something. So maybe you come up with an idea and you think it's a great idea. And if you haven't noticed, if you put something into ChatGPT or Claude or Manus or Gemini and ask it for its opinion, it's going to say, wow, that was a great idea, Regina. I think you should run with it. When it might not actually be a great idea. Because AI is kind of a people pleaser, if you let it be. So here's the thing. When it comes to thought leadership, it's about, challenging the boundaries and saying what you actually believe in versus what is trending out on the market. Maybe there's some big new trend. Right now, I'll tell you, I have a couple friends on my friend list that when it comes to AI, they are so anti-AI and they are very vocal about it. And that's okay because, AI right now might not be for everybody. Is it pretty much ingrained in our society? Yeah, it is. So it's going to be here. However, doesn't mean you have to jump on the bandwagon. So many people have that. I have some friends who are absolutely anti-AI and they're very vocal about it. That is what thought leadership is about. It's about saying that thing that you believe with conviction and becoming that thought leader. Other people who have those same opinions will then follow you. So how do you use AI to help you with that when AI is your yes man tool that you're using? So first off, let me share my screen. Let's grab my screen here. I'm going to grab window. I am actually going to use ChatGPT today. I've been using Claude very often. And so we're going to use ChatGPT today for this one. And it's really super simple to use AI as your devil's advocate. So it's basically start with some real opinion. So I'm going to use my real ChatGPT with something that is my opinion. And I'm going to say it's my belief that many other coaches and consultants try to fit their clients into a box. They tell them they have to do it their way or it won't work. I do not believe this. Now, mind you, my ChatGPT knows all about my unicorn factor. So I'm going to start here and I'm going to click go. And so I think this belief is actually a major part of your differentiator. And it, like I said, it knows about my unicorn factor. So it talks about what I got, those ideas, same philosophy, no single right way to build a successful business, which is my philosophy. However, there's a lot of coaches and consultants out there. This is a contrary point to a lot of other coaches and consultants that I've worked with. They say you have to do this, you have to follow this step, you have to follow this step by step by step, you have to use these templates, you have to model this exactly. I'll give you these email templates and all you need to do is put your name on it and your company info and then send it out exactly as it is or it won't work. I don't believe that. So it's contrary to a lot of other people's beliefs. Again, thought leadership. It's all about what is it that really hits you in your industry with what you do. So there's my real opinion. Now, again, my ChatGPT knows me pretty well. So of course it feels pretty me. All right, so I'm going to say, all right, so let's create a post for Facebook about this. And that's all I'm going to say. Let's create a post. Now it's going to come up with, again, it's got my information. And one of the things that has always bothered me about about the coaching consulting business, let me make this a little bit bigger, is they often told there's only one way to succeed. It goes into a lot of stuff. This is actually a great message. I might actually use this today. But now I'm going to do something different. I'm going to do a little upgrade. I'm going to say, let's play devil's advocate. Please argue this point. Let's see. Let's argue this point and say, what would someone who disagrees with this say? Okay. And here's where the gold starts happening. So I'm going to say, let's play devil's advocate, spell it correctly. It knows what I meant. Please argue this point. What would someone who disagrees with this say? Someone who disagrees with you would probably make a few strong arguments. ChatGPT just went 180 on my stuff. They would say beginners don't need customization. They need structure. People fail because they keep trying to reinvent the wheel. The fastest path to success is following a proven process exactly as designed. Yeah, they would say that. This is probably their strongest counter argument. They might say, every time someone says, this doesn't fit me, what they're actually saying is, I don't want to do the uncomfortable thing that would help me grow. Ooh, have you ever heard that one? Have you ever heard that side of it? Argument number 3, success leaves clues. If 1,000 people have succeeded with the system, the problem isn't the system, the problem is the execution. They've got a point there, right? Now I can work all that back in to mine, but I'm looking for this contrary information. Why? Because now I can use that with my post to actually make it even more powerful. My content becomes more powerful when I'm not just talking about the way I do things, but I'm countering the way other people say what they say about it. So now that I've told it to argue about it, I'm going to tell it. It went through, again, more of my info here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten it up a little bit more. All right. Using my philosophy, how would you wrap in these counter arguments to create a post that creates more engagement due to the subject? We'll just leave it at that. Again, when I type, I don't spell correctly, but that's okay because it knows what I'm talking about. I would lean into the tension rather than avoid it. So see, instead of ChatGPT now saying, oh, let's make that post. Remember that post that I read that I was like, oh, that sounds just like me. And I said, I might use that today. You know what? I might change that idea and say, unpopular opinion. I don't believe every business owner should follow the exact same blueprint. Now, before anyone comes after me, let me explain. I absolutely believe in the proven principles. I believe learning from people who have already achieved what you want to achieve. I believe that success leaves clues. All the counter arguments, it just built into my post because I had it go look at the counter, right? So it made it even stronger. And when you think about this, when it comes to thought leadership, it's all about you consistently showing up with your opinion, your ideas, the things that make you you, the things that make you unique and make you stand out. This is what we're looking for. But hey, you know what? You can talk about what you love, what you do all day long. There will always be people out there that are a 180 against it. Those who are against AI, for AI. There doesn't seem to be any middle ground right now. You're either for it or against it, right? That's a great topic. So if you're a big AI person and you want to promote your AI business, maybe you're doing some AI consulting or helping people learn AI or training or helping them use the tools. And you're getting all of these business owners or people who are saying, yeah, but I don't like AI. Use this type of prompting inside of ChatGPT, Claude, whatever your favorite tool is, and tell it to act as the devil's advocate and give you a counter opinion about what's going on, and then work that in, because this one is so much stronger. When I put this first one up and I was like, wow, this one of the things that's always bothered me about coaching is consulting. You know, the message, follow the system, use the script. I love that. I would follow it. That's me. However, it's not me that I'm looking to attract. I'm looking to attract people who don't know me yet. I'm looking to show up to those people who don't understand that, who don't know that. I know this for me, but they don't know that. Your opinion of what you have that might be contrary to others, you may be totally convicted to it, but others aren't. And just touting your conviction is not going to convince them to change their mind. That's where this comes in handy. Use it as a devil's advocate and then come down to this one here and say, unpopular opinion. I don't believe that every business owner should follow the exact same blueprint. Now, before anybody comes after me, let me explain. And it goes in. How many times have you heard you have to be on video? You have to post every day. You have to build this. Maybe or maybe not. Because what works for one person may not work for another. I say that all the time. This is beautifully countering. Again, ChatGPT, my ChatGPT knows me well. This is beautifully countering all of those people who are on the opposite side of what I think. That's where thought leadership begins. That is where you start showing up and you start being that person who stands out from everybody else in the crowd, who is basically saying the same stuff over and over again. So use AI as the devil's advocate. Let it give you that counter opinion. It will not do it by default. Remember, it will always agree with you by default. It'll always say, wow, that was a great idea. Oh, that's a great position. Oh, that's this. That's what it told me on the first one here. Wow, that's a great position. It falls right in with your stuff. Yeah. But that wasn't what I wanted. I wanted the counter position. I wanted, what about the people who don't believe this, who think that I'm full of it? That's the opinion that I want, because that's the stronger opinion if you want to be a thought leader. So give it a try and let me know how it works for you. We'll see you next time on the AI Spotlight. Bye for now.